welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Vicky and I'm What Vicky Made on YouTube and Instagram. I'm just popping on today to chat with you about my dressmakers forms. I mentioned the other day on Instagram stories that I'd recently invested in a new adjustable dressmakers form and asked if anyone was interested in me talking about my thoughts on it. Quite a few of you got back to me, so I just thought I'd pop on and share with you what I thought to the dressmakers forms. So I have this vintage form, which is one that my sister-in-law gave to me. It's a really beautiful dressmakers form, but it's only comes in quite a refined size range. Then I recently decided to invest in a second one. This is from the Singer outlet and it's their adjuster form, which comes in two sizes. It comes in small and medium. I fall into the medium size range, so that's what I've purchased. Just before I show you them without the clothes on, I just thought I'd show you what they look like with two of my dresses on, because this is the first thing that really sort of hit me when I saw the one in my actual size, is that as you can see, this one is so small, my clothes just hang from it, and I actually didn't realise how unappealing this was to look at, because this is obviously not what I look like when I wear my clothes at all, and my clothes just look so big on it. They're just hanging, not so much with the dress, but I've really noticed it when I put some of my jackets on there, and it just looks quite, I don't know how to describe it, but it just doesn't fit. It doesn't look like how the garment's meant to look. Whereas when I got the one that's actually my size, I didn't realise how much better it is to see something that is actually reminiscent of what I look like. I mean, it's not my exact shape, of course, it is a dress form, but it actually holds my clothes how they're meant to be worn. And actually, this made me feel so good to just see it on a similar shape to what I actually am. I think the difference is amazing. So yeah, it was really quite uplifting and refreshing to see this at the top of my stairs with my garments on. So yeah, body positivity is something that I've been working really hard to try and achieve. It's still very much a work in progress for me, although I feel better by a long chalk than I ever have done. So to actually see my garments on the body, well, similar body to what they're designed for, was so refreshing. And I think this is the most important thing I've found so far from changing dress form. This is probably the body that I thought I should have many years ago. This is the body I actually have. And from a body positivity perspective, if nothing else, I think having a dress form that's similar in shape, size, whatever, to you is probably the most important thing I've found so far. So now I'll take the clothes off and show you what they actually look like. So as you can see, this is an adjustable dress form, although it's very petite in size. I mean, it's a beautiful dress form. I absolutely love it. And I definitely won't be getting rid of it because it's well made and it's just so classic. So I do, from a looks perspective, I do think this is a very beautiful dress form. And of course, if I was that size, then it would be great. And you know, if I make for other people, then it's still handy to have something. It is quite old, so the adjustables aren't functioning as well as they probably once did. But yeah, so this is my original dress form, which is a vintage one. And then this is my adjuster form, which I got from the Singer outlet. As you can see, it's much bigger in size. This is the medium size. It comes in two size ranges. And they do actually have a really good broad coverage of measurements, which I thought was good because my body really fluctuates, and also, you know, I might sew for other people at some point, so that's handy. It's got all these dials that you can adjust on, on the side and also the back. It's easy to adjust. You can also adjust the height and the neck size. So what I would say is you can get your main measurements. You can get your bust correct, your waist and your hip. You can get your neck size correct. The downside is that it is a rigid dress form to some extent. So the high bust isn't correct for me, neither is the under bust. I don't find this a problem, or I haven't found it a problem so far for sewing for me, because I haven't sewn anything that fitted. However, I would imagine you'd probably struggle a bit if you were sewing something like a bustier, because it is so fitted. I don't know that you would, I feel like you'd struggle to get that perfect fit on this dress form. So that would be the one thing that I would comment on, is that although you can get it to your main measurements, it isn't a perfect replication of your shape and size, and it never can be because of how it adjusts. The only way I see you getting around this would be to make the mannequin smaller and use padding to build it up, and then you could buy a cover to go over the top. This isn't something I've had a need to look into as of yet, but maybe at some point I could easily do that. I'd just make it smaller and pad over the top. It comes with something that hooks onto the bottom so you can level out your skirt hems. That's not something I've used yet, but I haven't had it long enough to have a need for that as of yet. So yeah, overall, I am really happy with this. There was a pricier adjuster form available on the Singer website, and they seem to be very similar wherever you buy them from, to be honest. The sizes are very sort of standard. So there was a more expensive dress form which come in, I believe, 4 size ranges. However, because my measurements span so many different sizes, I actually couldn't fit into that more precise size range because my waist didn't fit in the same sizes that my hip and bust did, which I found almost amusing. So I actually couldn't buy the more expensive dress form because it didn't cater for me. I don't really know what the difference is. It seemed to have the same amount of adjustable dials, but yes, I can't comment on those ones because I haven't seen them or used. So yeah, the other thing that I thought was really handy from having the mannequin is if I wanted to try adjusting any patterns. I do sometimes do this, but I have to try the patterns on and sort of pin in the mirror, which isn't ideal. Sometimes I've had to alter the arm sky or do a narrow shoulder adjustment. So I thought this would be handy because I actually can put my garment on the mannequin now and pin it, which is really handy. And the other reason this would be good is if you wanted to have a go at draping, because there's no way you can do draping on a mannequin that isn't your size. So perhaps that's something I'm going to give a go at some point. I would like to be a bit more experimental with my sewing and sort of edge away from patterns at times. So yeah, I've not had it very long, it's only been a couple of months, but so far I'm very pleased with it and I think it was a great investment. Thank you for listening, and if you've got any questions, just pop them below or send me a message on Instagram and I'm always happy to help where I can.